Daredevil game is starting to feel like a reality with the Spider-Man 2 and 1 teasing it, the director also teasing it.
Look, here's what Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 is about.
And the apparent hand have been seen in Spider-Man 2, what is Daredevil's biggest villain. However, what would a Daredevil game look like? Who would be the villain? What would be the story? And what could the gameplay be like? Welcome back to the Mumbling Game. On today's Mumble, we need to see something crazy. The return of the Kingpin. To see some martial arts madness. What do you get when the big time superheroes have bigger fish to fry? Spider-Man, Hulk, Fantastic Four, even X-Men can't be called to take down Gary the Butcher, who has a business in selling fish fingers, no? What do you get when the big time superheroes have bigger fish to fry? Superman, Spider-Man, fuck. What do you get when the big time superheroes have bigger fish to fry? Spider-Man, Hulk, Fantastic Four, even X-Men can't be called in to take down Gary the Butcher, who has a business in selling chicken fingers. But you know who can? The guy who looks out for you and me, Matt Murdock, aka Bat, no Blind Bat, no sorry, but Daredevil.
Just follow my lead.
It's the big guys in New York City who get the spotlight, and everyone's favourite X-Men is getting its own game. It's time to give the Devil of Hell's Kitchen a chance in the Marvel gaming universe, and if you're not ready for that, get out! Technically, the 3 Spider-Man games have set a gold standard, a film-level story for the superhero video games, and with the Wolverine game around the corner, more than a year away, but still around the corner technically, it looks to have a darker tone to it, and they look really to set that standard higher. But looking at both Spider-Man and Wolverine, they have a completely different tone to what a Daredevil game could be. But before you begin that story of the Daredevil in game, I think like most superhero things, including games, we need to answer the big Hulk question in the room. Where do we start? Do we start with the origins, the OG way of how that superhero got their powers? Do we go with the dawn of the suits, or do we start with a very experienced devil of the kitchen? But what if we did something crazy? What if we did all of them? Okay, I've read a lot of Daredevil comics and watched the TV show. I think I'm about ready. With Spider-Man, it's so easy just to jump 3-4 years later. Everyone and their 2-year-old knows who Spider-Man is. I bet even some animals know the origin of Spider-Man, and it can be skipped like brushing your teeth. Matt Murdock, on the other hand, is really a devil in disguise, as I would say more than half of you don't know how Matt Murdock, attorney at law, became Matt Murdock, the devil of the kitchen. So we start off with the origin. First person, obviously walking down the street through a car crash, we get chemicals in our eyes. It takes away our sight. We see it draining from his eyes in first person, and the other senses are heightened. And this is the origin of the devil of Hell's Kitchen. In kind of a nightmare, Matt wakes up to the radio mention that Bullseye has killed someone, and this is where the game truly starts. We're in a post-Spider-Man 2 era here for context, and Daredevil isn't the happiest with the spiders because they have caused mayhem in this city for a while. So he kind of thinks they're bloody donuts. The gameplay truly starts here, where the Devil of the Dare is chasing Bullseye, learning the traversal mechanics, and has a boss fight with the Bullseye. Daredevil has Bullseye on the ropes like so many times before this. Bullseye is shot dead right in the bull's eye. Daredevil chases the mystery shooter but loses him, or her. It's Punisher, the big mystery is Punisher. These games aren't really known for their smoke and mirrors. We knew who Venom was 4 years before the game released. What would you rather it be? Owl, don't judge me. The next day we see Matt obsessed with who the shooter could be over a Charlie-esque board full of DC B and A-level villains. Already this is darker, some moody Daredevil-like lighting, you know the type. Don't worry though, you She-Hulk fans out there. I think there's 5, including myself. There should be some, let's say, red and yellow suit missions in this game. This is still a Marvel game, don't forget. I want a day in the life of Daredevil, but don't go full pigeon on me, as I don't want to go through that again. God damn it. Back to the board for a minute, we have all the possible shooters. We don't just have Daredevil villains though, we have the villains of New York. We have Taskmaster, Fisk, Wraith, even Spider-Man, because he doesn't trust him that much, so they're still on the board. He's like a lower tier though, and other references. As Marvel fans love our references. Snapper, not the Marvel kind, the radio has ripped Matt from his board. A killer has been released from maximum security.
I didn't do fuck
fucking shit!
Notable figure Wilson Fisk, also known as Kingpin, has been cleared of all charges and has been released today.
I know that most of you will find this difficult to accept.
Wilson Fisk has been released. Matt Murdock is in shock at this news. Not seconds later, Matt answers the phone to the one, the only, the mildly annoying Foggy.
Just a guy, right?
No one knows that Daredevil is Daredevil but Foggy, and one other character that isn't in this game. Both of them are the ones who helped put Kingpin behind bars, so this is kind of a big deal. And then we get a scene of Matt and Foggy in their office going over what they're going to do, but with the release of Fisk, crime is rising quickly and both of them have a lot of cases. This is really what sets up the whole game. The first main villain being Kingpin, and with it criminals come back to play. We get villains like Tombstone coming back into the game saying there is fist money out there now, but we also see some villains die, and the secondary main story being who the hell is this shooter, with the killer midway through the game trying to kill Kingpin but failing due to Daredevil saving him. Who does not kill, he's a lawyer and they mostly follow the law.
Merci.
The killing turns out to be the Punisher, as we mentioned, with the whole game coming down to the kind of moral compass. Daredevil is all about,
It's all good, man.
and Punisher is all about.
I'm right here! You want it, I'll give it to you!
We have some side villains and bosses leading up to all this, but the main villain here is Punisher and Kingpin. Daredevil has to deal with the new rise of Kingpin and the Punisher killing the criminals that have rose back to power. But we need more elements to make this a good game, one of them being side quests and the other being references. And Daredevil could truly do something special here with them both. Going back to the flashbacks, we get to see Matt Murdock's first case with Foggy and first true superhero mission, possibly bringing the most popular Marvel family to the little gaming screen, this being the Fantastic Four. In a flashback, we could get a mission from the Fantastic Four similar to the comics where we had to fight a retro style Electro, this being our first big time superhero fight and also a big time case. We get to see how Foggy finds out and also the first meeting of Karen and how she became working for them. In this we see Daredevil trying his mask, try some funny voices kind of like Batman, kind of like this.
Danger! Your whole family's in danger!
And Foggy says, "Matt, is that you?" And that's the story of how Foggy met the devil. We get some arguing between the both, but in the end, Daredevil saves Foggy and they bro shake.
You're raw friendship mode engaged.
Karen never finds out about Matt and the devil, as it adds to the drama. In the end, Kingpin attacks Matt and Foggy's office and kills Karen in the process, what puts Daredevil onto the track of killing Kingpin. This is after the fight with Punisher, who starts to regret some of his kills and thinks to stop his punishment ways. This is a switching of the coin, so to speak, kind of moment. Punisher wants to take down Kingpin still, but in a different way, but Daredevil just wants to kill him. This is being where we play as the Punisher, this being where both of them head to Kingpin Tower, but in the end it looks a bit like this. Turning into the Punisher trying to stop Daredevil killing the Kingpin. This doing a 180 for the story, but the only way to stop Daredevil from killing the Kingpin is shooting him. Meaning that the Punisher shoots Kingpin, realizing it's the only way to kill the villain. This ends the story. Daredevil is grief-stricken, but understands he cannot kill. Punisher keeps to his killing ways and thinks it's the only way he can continue. Kingpin is dead from his gunshot, maybe. In the end credits we see a tease showing Elektra and the Hand saying that he is ready, thinking that Daredevil killed the Kingpin. That is really the whole story, but we need some side villains to pad this out. So I'm thinking Purple Man, I'm thinking Stiltman, and I'm thinking Mr. Fear. But Stiltman needs to be serious, as I kind of want that redemption arc to him to become a possible hero. We start with Mr. Fear, what kind of ends up being like the Scarecrow missions from the Arkham series, and it could be really fun to see them type of missions in a New York, Harlem, Hell's Kitchen type base area. Then we have the Purple Man, who can work in a game like this so well, as he can literally just ask people to attack Daredevil, and it could work a kind of like Taskmaster, where people randomly just keep on attacking Daredevil for no reason, and Daredevil has to find out what the reason of these attacks are. We also see Wraith, as it could be a good connection to the Spider-Man games, and she could help in a mission. And throughout the side quests, if they made us take photos as Peter and do that stupid music stuff in Miles, I do think this game does need some lawyer missions. This means some Phoenix Rising inspired missions through using Daredevil's powers to find the truth, and some Phoenix Rising kind of minigames. I don't want to match up some squares or lines like Spider-Man. I want some proper stuff here, everything from using Daredevil's visions to look if the sweat is coming off the nose of the guilty little rat. So we've talked about the story and the side quests, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next Mumble. Oh wait, the gameplay. The story and the gameplay of Daredevil is two people, the Dayman and the Nightman. Maybe weirdly a bit more than Spider-Man, as near everything Daredevil does on the streets affects the lawyer behind the mask. The stupid picture that Peter Parker takes has near to no effect on the hero stuff, apart from webbing them cameras up, because you know you gotta get that right shot. This means this game cannot just be a webbed up clone of Spider-Man. Shout out to Scarlet Spider. It can't just swap out the webbing for a stick. It should have more grit to it. Through this gameplay of Matt Murdock needs to be kind of full of tension, of Matt using that Nightman abilities without the knowledge of other people, but adds elements of stories to the gameplay as Daredevil, complementing the mission, but still more Daredevil than Matt Murdock. The Devil's gameplay can't just be the same as Spider-Man either. I think there's a way of doing this, with Daredevil arguably having a lot more fighting style to his combat compared to both Spider-Man and the anticipated Wolverine. He's been training as a martial artist for a very long time, and every fibre of him is a weapon. But what do you think? What do you want from a Daredevil game? Comment below, and while you're down there, make sure to put Mumble at the comments to show that you've reached this far in the video, and please give this video a like and subscribe for future Mumbles. And I'll see you on the next one.